The house sits just off a rural road in Bedford, where the trees press close, and long stretches of goldenrod spread wildly instead of sidewalks. It isn't an old house, not like others in the neighborhood. No Victorian turrets or sagging porches. Built about 10 years ago, the outside is all gray vinyl with white trim around the windows. A small deck in the back stands flat and empty, waiting for some outdoor furniture. Every spring, someone mows the patchy grass out front. Every winter, someone plows the short paved driveway. But no one ever moves in. Not anymore. A real estate sign, sun-bleached and tilting, lets people know the house is still for sale. The name of the agent has changed, but the sign remains. The sign has been out there for years. The neighbors have stopped noticing it mostly, except when kids ask why no one wants to live there. That's when parents clam up, or just change the subject, because no one likes to talk about the family who used to live there, or what happened to their little girl. Her name was Sarah. She was 6 years old the summer that her family moved in. Her father had been proud he'd gotten a great deal on the place. Her mother was just glad to have more space, not to mention much more privacy than what they'd had in their duplex back in Londonderry. Sarah also had an older brother, Matt, who'd sometimes play with her, if he wasn't busy with his Xbox. So Sarah found some other ways to entertain herself. The house wasn't perfect. There were little flaws, drafty windows, creaky floors. The basement was unfinished, cold concrete, exposed studs. Still, Sarah liked to play down there sometimes. She would bring her scooter and her teddy bear and pretend that the stacks of unpacked boxes were a city to explore. One wall of the basement had a long, weird crack in it. The crack was vertical, maybe 3 feet tall. It looked like someone had tried to seal it with bricks and mortar, but the work looked sloppy. Sarah's father shrugged it off. Cheap patch. The foundation probably settled after a frost. I'll call a guy, he said. But he never got around to it. A few weeks after they moved in, Sarah's toys started to disappear. First, it was a plastic wand that lit up when you waved it. One that she'd been using down in Box City, as she called it. Then she couldn't find her magna tiles, or the new Crayola markers that she'd used to draw some flowers on the cardboard boxes. "Why would I take any of your baby toys?" said Matt, when Sarah asked him if he'd hidden them somewhere. "They're not baby toys. You probably left them in your room." "I didn't," Sarah pouted. "I left them in the basement." But Matt wasn't listening. He was much too focused on the TV and the buttons of his game controller. Sarah went downstairs again to look around. The basement air felt different, cooler, Sarah thought, and the smell was damp and earthy, like garden soil after you dug it up. She looked all over for her toys, but when she passed the cracked wall, a faint draft made her shiver. Several bricks were missing now, leaving a wide, jagged gap where there hadn't been one before. Beyond it, all she saw was darkness, and for some reason just looking at it made her skin crawl. She was about to back away when something spoke. "Come. Closer." The voice was slow and rough, like dirt sliding on stone. It did not sound friendly. "Is someone in there?" Sarah asked. "I am," it answered darkly. She craned her neck, but she couldn't see anyone. "Who are you?" "The one who lives here." "You live in our basement?" "I live in the other basement." Sarah frowned. "I didn't know we had another basement." "Lots of homes have other basements." The voice chuckled, a dry sound like leaves rustling in a vent. Sarah stepped back. Her skin prickled. "I have your toys," it said. She should have turned and ran upstairs. Instead, Sarah asked, "Can I have them back?" "Yes," came the answer. Sarah waited. expecting whoever was behind the wall to toss her wand, markers, and magnetic tiles on the floor. Half a minute passed in silence. "Well," she said impatiently. "Come closer." Sarah took a step toward the crack. "Closer." Another step, this one slower than the first. "Okay," she whispered. "Can you give them back now?" A face loomed in the dark. It was pale and gray and utterly inhuman. Sarah gasped and froze. She felt like screaming, but the hand that grabbed her was too quick, its grip too tight. Much too tight to get away. It wasn't until supper, when her parents realized she was gone. The search began soon after. Police came, neighbors holding flashlights, spent long hours in the woods behind the house that night, calling Sarah's name. The only thing that anybody found was one of her pink sneakers. It was in the basement, sitting alone on the cold concrete. Above it, the crack in the wall was bricked up, as it had always been. The other shoe was nowhere to be seen. In time, the family moved away, and the house was put back on the market. It's still for sale. Buyers find the cracked foundation off-putting, and a few of them, just a few, have said they heard a young girl's voice down there, muffled behind the bricks and concrete, asking if they want to play.